Hey friends, let's talk about high quality commenting. Now, this module is going to assume that you've already worked through the Skool IFU, particularly the community values and rules section where we talk about the community being higher than ourselves, as well as the leaderboard and gamification and some of the factors that drive poor commenting. And what I want to talk about is why comments are so key to all of our personal growth and the impact good commenting and discussion has had on me and my personal growth in grad school, and what we're going to norm on in this community. So let's pull up the Remarkable. Let me hit my magic buttons. Wrong magic button, half the magic button. There we go. So today we're going to talk about high quality commenting. And I've thought through most of this in my head, but we're just going to kind of improvise through it and why it matters. So in a lot of social media, we have very shallow commenting, right? You'll have quick responses like, yeah, that's great, that's amazing, that's the best, or you're awful, right? And like all the trolls come in, and then it's very superficial and it's very me focused. So even though we're not discussing posting, I want to share an example post that we've all seen on LinkedIn and how aspects of this culture are suboptimal and what we could do differently. So the classic LinkedIn post is going to be something like, hey everyone, I mean this like kindly, by the way, it's going to sound a little facetious, but like, hey everybody, I just got laid off after, I don't know, 10 years at Honda. If you know of any opportunities, please let me know. Whoops, no. So this is what I would call like a me post, and a me versus like communal posts. I got a lot of this language from someone named Calvin Hollywood, who's a great community leader on Skool. I plan on joining his community in a couple days. And this is all focused on like a me post of, hey everyone, this is my problem. Everyone come and help me solve my problem. My problem, please. And what this kind of attracts from a comment perspective below it is either the, I'm so sorry, that's awful, screw these corporate monsters. No, that's not, sometimes. But then you also have the, yeah, let me forward your resume, or have you looked at blah, 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 like this person or this thing. And these are all helpful. The problem is that this response is only going to impact the me. Everything always goes back to the me. And this person doesn't necessarily gain anything from what this person says. So the commenting loop here is kind of shallow, even though it's helpful to this person. And I've been in this situation. I've made this kind of post. But let me show you a different post that can be made in the same circumstance and the scale of impact that could come from it. So let's do the same situation. Guy just got laid off. Hey friends. Friends is more my language. Hey friends. After 10 years at Honda, I just got laid off. Thanks for all the support. Maybe you could even add like, thanks for all the support. I've already received a lot of support and encouragement. I've already received. I can never spell received right, so don't judge me if it's IE or EI. I'm an engineer. And you're all like, already has 2 L's. And I was like, does it? We'll do it live. Received, a lot of support. Where this post could go, though, is I would love to connect with anyone who's ever experienced a layoff and glean some wisdom. And then here's like the more specific post question for engagement. If you've been recently laid off, if you've recently, and you're like, this is about commenting, trust me, the post will fit. If you've recently been laid off, can you share some things you did well and not so well during the transition? So why is this a better post? Well, this is a better post because you still have a clear ask. In both cases, this person's navigating a situation. They need some help. And in this case, they're asking for insight instead of get me a job. But the way that they structure, particularly this part, changes it from this is me. This is me plus you. This is everyone. Because anyone could navigate a layoff someday, and everyone could benefit from learning from best practices here. So when you start to get a comment here about, I took extra time off to reconnect with my son, then this provides value to everyone. This opens up the door for the main author to be like, this is the me. Wow, I never thought about that. And then on top of that, you have people joining layers deep. So this allows your commenting to continue to seed deeper and deeper because you're asking the right question in the post. What I want to help encourage all of you with, as we're about 8 minutes into this training, is how do you comment with this kind of mindset in place? How do you comment in a way where you recognize that you're responding to both the poster, which could be me, could be anyone in the community eventually, the poster, and everyone. So you want to make sure that your comments have max value. So rather than, oh, or thanks for sharing, that's so good, great, thumbs up, emoji, gif. Like, that is very easy and fast on your end. But for anyone else that then jumps into that post, they have to scroll past all that to get to a meaty reply and a meaty conversation that provides value. So if you think about it selfishly, though, would you rather read a post with comments that are shallow and one layer deep, or with commenting that's written empathetically towards the larger group versus just self? And this doesn't mean we have to betray our own experiences. So for instance, within a community, I recorded a quick video response instead of typing a comment because I wanted to share thoughts on what the community leader had written. So he had done a video, I did a video in response and just said, this is your model, and I redrew it. These are some of the things that I do differently. This is how I did it and failed. This is what I'm trying to build towards next. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts on what they're doing or where they disagree. Like, you open up the floor for engagement. That's how we can all comment. And if we all comment that way, even though it takes more time for us to polish our words and actually compress them versus expanding them, it makes it like a well-written novel to everyone else who's reading all of these replies. So that's some quick thoughts on commenting. The reason it's important, if we go back to, where's my magic button? The reason it's so important is if you want to move up the leaderboard, if you want to get those big brains, provide the meat, the good responses that people want to like and click on, the responses that actually provide value to the original poster, but to everyone else who's reading the post and what you say. And we can create a culture where we actually celebrate engagement and bring in value versus a lot of these quick one-off attaboy GIF kind of stuff. So anyway, that's your free class on high quality commenting. I'm curious how it'll impact the way you email at work as well. If you could just take pause for a minute or 2 minutes when you read something and think about, how do I reply not only to the person who sent this, but to all the reply alls on it? Because it's an area we can all grow better at, is thinking about the audience and recognizing everyone sees it. The last little lingering thing, because we're going to kind of grow in this space. If people, for instance, really end up enjoying the course discussions page, where these discussions are linked to any classes from the how to say goodbye or securing your next, landing your next job, whatever post is at top is based on the latest comment, which was 1 day ago. And they could see the person who made the comment, which was me in this case. You have to listen. That's so funny. If you were always commenting, great, thanks, all the lazy stuff, you're putting posts to the top of the feed with a comment that's not providing value to everyone else. So it makes the community feel spammy. But if you took an extra couple minutes to really think about what you would say and wrote it, then it drives the conversation to the top where people can engage and pick up on it and keep building and get more out of it. And then the last thing I want to talk about was from grad school, I took a master's in global leadership, which was an incredible experience. It was through a Christian theological seminary. So I was studying with pastors, missionaries, and like business leaders. And it was all online together, but we met face to face after the first quarter for 2 weeks. And then we brought that connection into our online engagement with one another. And because I'm really busy having kids, moving to Japan, doing global leadership, I often didn't have enough time for homework. Like I'd power through readings, do half of it, power through, I'm really good at writing papers fast. But where I put the most time was in the discussion board assignments and gleaning as much as I could from people in this global leadership cohort with me. It changed my life over 2.5 years to study with those 22 people and to see how they approach the problems and the books and the readings and the way they think about it, because it was often so different than me. And to also be able to curate my thoughts in a way that provided them with value. Like that engagement and layers of depth within commenting was transformative for the 22 of us that went through that journey together. And I trust that same kind of mindset could come into this community if we're diligent with how we approach it. So don't treat this community like social media. This is not Facebook. Be thoughtful so that others can come along and grow just as much as you do. All right, keep changing the world. I don't know what you're going to go to next in your training. At a minimum, friends, please make sure you click this button so that you get that little dopamine hit of good work. All right, see you on the next one. Keep changing the world.